Yeah, chat. Since someone's watching me, I'm gonna scroll through TikTok.
There's standing is an all of this really because of what you did on day one. You decide enough is enough and try to bring balance to the game by wiping everyone's inventories. But that backfires. Players riot. They worked hard for their stuff and feel this decision is unfair. Day 11. Player counts drop significantly. We panic and try to push out an update to save it, but we don't know how to code. Everything you once had isn't answering your phone. Day 28. Your player base is in the low thousands, and the record-breaking game once known as a growing is empty and forgotten. Just as you begin to accept reality, you wake up. If you look up,
I play it all. Do the fortnight. Do the fortnight.
How did you accidentally get a supercar for free? I was on my way to trade in my old car for a new truck at the same time.
Bro, I bet you have to share a sleeping bag with your homie on a camping trip because it is very cold outside. But all the body contact makes you want. Probably like the fuck you guys are sad. Underside of you both. Since you both literally can't go to sleep while you're both rock, your homie grabs both your feet with one hand and starts jerking both of your socks. And he literally just dry hugging you both while you both stare at each other in the sky. And after a few minutes, you just bust on each other's faces because you can't take the suspense anymore. And as you think everything is gonna go back to normal, you guys just gonna go out of bed after this, and Keith's bear comes out and tries to attack your tent. But when the bear takes on the tent and realizes that you guys were just stroking each other's cocks like regular friends, he stops dead in his tracks and just stares at you. And you and your homeboy are just startled, cock in hand, just wondering what the bear's gonna do at his next step. So then the bear stands up on his 2 feet and formally introduces himself as the Goon Bear. And he says that what you guys were just doing tonight reminded him of how he used to play around with his friends back then. And he wants to be your friend and goon with you every time you go to the forest on a camping trip. But now, what would you do if this happened? Me personally, he's probably would have had it. One of my biggest questions.
Some kid was talking shit to my buddy's girlfriend, so I just went over to him, I picked him up, I hit him in the face twice, and I threw him through a massive glass window in this restaurant. Shattered the whole thing. Police immediately come over, and I thought it was his buddies trying to grab me, so I cocked back and elbowed somebody straight in the face, and I turned around and there's a police officer.
And then he fucking woke up.
It was a violent wet dream.
I don't really know what's the story about telling. He's
A course on police assault. I don't get it.
like, but the moral of the story is basically get blackout kids and start fights.
Your girlfriend cheated on you? Yes. Another better one is coming. If not 1, 10. If not 10, 1,000. You crash your car? Yes. Great. A better one is coming.
Look, I hate to be the one to tell you this, but your son's been in a terrible motorcycle accident.
Oh my god, how is he?
I'm sorry to say it, but unfortunately he's dead.
Yes!
You just leave.
Men's strict parenting totally backfired. My mother required a minute-by-minute schedule from me every morning. If I wrote eating lunch 12 to 12:30, but she called at 12:15 and I was still walking to the cafeteria, I'd be locked in my room for lying about my whereabouts. It ended up ruining both our lives. My mother had always been controlling, but it got worse after my older sister ran away at 17. Mom blamed herself for not knowing exactly where my sister was every second. She started calling me every hour, then every half hour. She quizzed me on who I was with and demanded to speak to them. She recruited my teachers as spies and my friends' parents as informants. She'd show up randomly at school, the mall, wherever I said I'd be. But when I turned 14, she decided check-ins weren't enough. She needed complete documentation of my life, planned in advance, to make sure I could never leave her like my sister did. So Mom introduced a daily itinerary system at breakfast. I had to submit written schedules each morning detailing every minute of my upcoming day. 7:03 to 7:07, brush teeth. 7:07 to 7:09, get dressed. 7:09 to 7:12, walk to bus stop. Any gaps were unacceptable. She wanted to know every hallway I'd walk down, every person I talked to, how many minutes each homework assignment would take. She'd review them with a red pen, questioning unrealistic time estimates. If I was just 2 minutes off schedule when she called to verify, I was a liar who couldn't be trusted. She said this was the only way to keep me safe from becoming like my sister. The whole thing was suffocating. I had to wake up at 5 a.m. just to write out my schedule in enough detail to satisfy Mom. Every bathroom break had to be pre-planned, every conversation pre-approved. I had to estimate how long it would take to walk between classes and factor in crowded hallways. Mom's verification calls were random and relentless. If my itinerary said math class 10:15 to 11 and she called at 10:47 demanding to speak to my teacher, God forbid I'd stepped out of class to fill up my water bottle. She recruited an army of volunteers to help track me. The school librarian would text her when I arrived. The bus driver confirmed pickup times. She paid kids $5 to report any deviations from my submitted schedule. The punishments for being off schedule were severe. 2 minutes late to lunch meant locked in my room for the weekend. Being in the wrong hallway meant losing phone privileges for a month. One time our bus got caught in traffic on the way home from a field trip, and Mom cut my meals in half for a week to teach me a lesson. She'd make me rewrite my itineraries dozens of times as punishment if one of mine was off, adding more detail until they were novellas describing every breath I'd take. Friends would invite me to hang out, and I'd have to decline because it wasn't on my morning itinerary. I couldn't take a different route home on a nice day. I couldn't stay after class to ask a teacher a question. Every second was pre-planned and monitored. I started feeling like a robot executing code rather than a human living life. But one amazing day, the cafeteria lady mentioned she only got $5 per report. I offered her $10 to say I was there when I wasn't. She agreed immediately. Turns out none of Mom's drawers were getting paid all that much, and it wasn't impossible for me to outbid her on all of them. Within a week, I turned Mom's net worth into my own protection system. The librarian cost $20 per week to ignore my absences. The bus driver took $15 to confirm safety checks. Even the kids Mom paid to watch me would take $10 to look the other way. I used birthday money, lunch money, anything I could scrape together. For a month, I bought myself freedom. My submitted itinerary, while Mom's eyes confirmed every lie. knowing exactly where my sister was every second. She started calling me every hour and then
Would go to so many parties. Would go to so many parties, and I would never drink even once, just water. And the